The ketogenic diet is a very low-carb, high-fat eating pattern that offers many interesting health benefits. Most people use it to lose weight, but it may even have benefits against diabetes and other metabolic health issues. This video is like a beginner's guide for those who want to learn how it all works. The ketogenic diet, often termed keto for short, has many similarities with low-carb diets like the Atkins diet. It involves drastically reducing carbohydrate intake and replacing it with fat. The reduction in carbs puts your body into a metabolic state called ketosis. Now, when this happens, your body becomes incredibly efficient at burning fat for energy. It also turns fat into ketones in the liver, which can supply energy for the brain. To go into ketosis, people generally need to eat fewer than 50 grams of carbs per day, and in some cases, fewer than 20 grams, which is really little. Different types of ketogenic diets. There are several versions of the ketogenic diet, including the standard ketogenic diet. Now, this is a very low-carb, moderate protein and high-fat diet. Typically contains 75% of calories from fat, 20% protein, and only 5% carbs. The second is a cyclical ketogenic diet. Now, this diet involves periods of high carb refeeds, such as 5 ketogenic days followed by 2 high carb days. There's a targeted ketogenic diet as well. Now, this diet allows you to add carbs around workouts, and there's also a high protein ketogenic diet. Now, this is similar to a standard ketogenic diet, but includes more protein. The ratio is often 60% fat, 35% protein, and 5% carbs. Note that only the standard and high protein ketogenic diets have been studied extensively. The other types are more advanced and typically used by elite athletes and bodybuilders. Foods to avoid. In short, any food that is high in carbs should be limited. So that means sugary foods, grains and starches, fruit, basically all fruit except small portions of berries like strawberries, beans and legumes, root vegetables and tubers like potatoes, low-fat and diet products. These are often high in carbs. Some condiments and sauces often have a lot of sugar in them. Unhealthy fat, so just limit your intake of processed vegetable oils and mayonnaise. Alcohol, again, this one's due to its carb content. And sugar-free diet foods as well, you have to be careful of. Now, they're often high in sugar alcohols, which can affect ketone levels in some cases. And they're also highly processed, and that's, of course, not encouraged. Foods to eat. You should base the majority of meals around these foods. So meat, fatty fish, eggs, butter and cream, cheese or unprocessed cheese, nuts and seeds, healthy oils, so extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil and avocado oil they list, avocados, low-carb veggies, so mostly green veggies, tomatoes, onions, peppers or capsicum. In condiments as well, you can use salt and pepper and various herbs and spices. So as you can see, you should base your diet mainly on whole, single ingredient foods. Ketogenic diets can help you lose weight. The ketogenic diet is an effective way to lose weight and lower risk factors for disease. What appeals to many is that you can lose weight without necessarily counting calories or tracking your food. This study found that people on a ketogenic diet lost 2.2 times more weight than those on a calorie-restricted low-fat diet. Triglyceride and HDL cholesterol levels also improved. Another study found that participants on the ketogenic diet lost 3 times more weight than those on the Diabetes UK's recommended diet. But I want to emphasize that, as with every other weight loss diet, the ketogenic diet will only help you lose weight if you remain in a calorie deficit. So even if you're in ketosis, if your calorie intake is really high, then you won't lose weight. Ketogenic diets for diabetes and pre-diabetes. We've established that the ketogenic diet can help you lose fat, which is closely associated with type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Studies have found that the ketogenic diet can improve insulin sensitivity by a whopping 75%. Now, in some instances, patients with type 2 diabetes were even able to stop all diabetes medications. In this study, the ketogenic group lost 24.4 pounds or 11.1 kilos compared to 15.2 pounds or about 7 kilos in the higher carb group. This is an important benefit when considering the link between weight and type 2 diabetes. Additionally, about 95% of the ketogenic group was also able to stop or reduce diabetes medication compared to 62% in the higher carb group. Some very interesting findings. Of course, before you make any drastic diet changes, you've got to speak to your doctor if you take any medication for blood sugar levels. The ketogenic diet is great, but not for everyone. As you've seen, a ketogenic diet can be a great alternative for those who are overweight or have type 2 diabetes or just want to improve their metabolic health. But it may be less suitable for elite athletes or those who want to add large amounts of muscle or weight. And as with any diet, it will only work if you are consistent and you stick with it long term. Thanks for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you found it informative. Don't forget to subscribe to Healthline's Authority Nutrition YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button below this video.